Welcome back to Traveling with Denella and Friends. I'm Denella Ri'chard, and this is where the travel industry gets personal. Today's guest has made it her mission to prove that bigger isn't always better, especially on the water. She's the Chief Commercial Officer of Windstar Cruises, one of the most intimate, intentional luxury sailing experiences in the world. I sat down with my friend Janet Bava, live from Seatrade Cruise Global in Miami. And I promise you, by the time this conversation ends, you'll never look at a cruise ship the same way again. Welcome aboard. Janet Bava, it is always a pleasure to have you in the interview chair.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I love anytime Denella calls me, I'm like, yes before she's even asking the question.
You do, and I appreciate that so much because I have known you for so many years.
Yes.
And you know, one of the reasons we wanted to do this podcast is because a lot of people think it's really just a dream to have a job where you get to travel the world.
Yes.
Well, we really get to do it. We built careers in this industry. So I felt it was important to finally show our audience who these people are, right? You're not a social media influencer. You're a cruise industry executive. Now tell me a little bit about you. Where were you born? And let's talk about your rise, how you got here.
I love that. So thank you for that. I get goosebumps when you call me a cruise line executive because I am living the dream.
Yes.
I certainly am. And I've worked really, really hard. There's no shortcuts to getting here, but I am so grateful that I'm here. And so the reason why I am just, flattered with with the fact that you call me an executive is because when I was a little girl, right, I'm a Cuban-American, Miami raised, I'm a Miami native. My father left behind a lot, his family, his own family, and he sacrificed a lot for me to achieve what I have achieved today. And so it just makes me very proud. And so getting into the cruise industry was definitely by chance, but I think it was all meant to be. I'm, as a Hispanic individual, I had a Quinceañera cruise. I chose a cruise instead of actually having a big party in celebration of my coming of age. Because I just thought, how much fun would it be to go on a 1-week cruise for probably, we were very frugal and we had a very specific budget. And I said, instead of having a 4-hour party, let's go have a 1-week cruise with the same budget and let's invite some of my friends. And I just fell in love with cruising.
Beautiful. And did you still do the dress, the beautiful
I
dress
didn't.
and everything?
It wasn't my thing. I've always been very different. Like I didn't want to, follow the status quo, so I didn't. But when I went to college to FIU. I studied international business and marketing, and I'm actually very proud of FIU, my alma mater, because they've just started a cruise hospitality program. So for those of you listening in, thinking, I get a lot of questions about what's the career path, but also what should I study?
Yes.
And so I studied, back in the day, it was not available, but it's wonderful that now they have a cruise hospitality school.
And I'll tell you, I was at FIU with Professor Bushman a few weeks ago, and he actually reminded me, I think it was in 2016, I went to speak to FIU students and encourage them about a career in the cruise industry. And actually encouraged him to look at it further, as a curriculum.
Right.
And I didn't even realize it. He said, Denella, you inspired this. It's
amazing.
Like, what?
You are an
Get
inspiration.
Out of here.
I can see that.
Yes, so I'm so proud of FIU as well and everything they're doing. And I'm so proud to see the cruise industry investment in
absolutely in the future, in the next generation, because I didn't get that chance, but I did get a chance to study marketing and international business, which, my goal was not necessarily to get into cruise, but to get and work for a global company.
Right.
I spoke Spanish and English, and my father really wanted me to, maintain, and my mother maintain my Spanish. They thought it was super important that I maintain the language. And then, fast forward, I met my husband in Italy. I studied Italian in high school. So
you studied abroad in Italy, or
no? I actually studied Italian in high school and college. At FIU too, they had some Italian courses. They actually have an Italian program at FIU. but I met my husband by chance in Rome,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to, learn another language. It was pretty easy for me having to know Spanish, and I just really wanted to, explore the world with and take advantage of the fact that I was trilingual and,
Hmm.
discover the world. And I think cruising provided that to me
Yeah,
as from a personal endeavor.
exactly.
And so, living in Miami, this is the cruise capital of the
Yes.
world. So I applied to all of them. I remember interviewing at NCL, didn't get the role for trade marketing manager. I remember
Hmm.
perfectly well. So, I always tell people don't give up.
Yes.
And I was in the pharmaceutical industry doing marketing, and I got a call for Royal Caribbean. And so I
Wow.
started at Royal Caribbean back in 2006.
Okay.
hmm That was my
Yes.
entrance into this lovely world 20 years ago.
All right. And it didn't stop at Royal Caribbean.
No, it did not. So
Yes.
worked in the vertical of marketing. Again, worked really hard. I got married around the same time, had kids. So I'm a working mom, trying to balance, being a wife
Hmm.
with my professional career. And I've worked for amazing brands that supported my journey, my personal journey and my career, which I think is super important too. I
Hmm.
didn't have to sacrifice any one
Right.
area, which I think, some of us today may think that you can only choose one path. And I
No, I
think,
mean, it's amazing that you've been able to do it all.
yes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm really failing at all of it. It feels that way. You wake up
I
in the
doubt
morning and
that
you're like, what am I
seriously. Don't be
thinking?
so hard on
But
yourself.
but the majority of the time, I would say 80% of the time,
Hmm.
it's really rewarding and it's really worth it every day going to bed and thinking, wow, I was able to accomplish just, walking in the door and showing
Right.
up and working hard. And then walking in the door at home after a long day at the office and
Yes.
showing up for my kids and my husband, right? That's
And
just
you're a
so
great
important.
mom.
And I have a
Yes.
great support system. I
Yes. That's
couldn't do
awesome.
it without the support system that I have because I think that is important. I don't do it on my
Absolutely.
own. It's I
Yes.
have an entire,
You
I'm
have a village.
surrounded, a village of people that just have supported this journey.
That's awesome. Now, when I think back, when you mentioned Royal Caribbean and where you are now,
hmm
Royal Caribbean, big ships, up to
Yes.
what, 6,000 passengers on some of
I think
them.
8 now. I
Right.
think
Is
they're
it
up to
eight?
8. I
Oh
think they're
my
up to 8.
gosh,
Yes.
right? So big ships, but of course, still amazing ships, amazing entertainment, and
Yes. Just incredible
all the
brands.
things to do. But
And
let's talk about Windstar.
yes.
Very, very different.
Very. And I will say, I feel as if you leave Royal Caribbean, I spent a decade there, almost a decade there, and you leave there with like a master's in cruising.
Hmm.
I recommend, I actually have family members now that work for Royal Caribbean and they're, younger than I am. And I love the fact that they're learning and they're growing. And I think it just gives everyone just a great opportunity to learn so many pieces of the business.
Yes.
I then moved from Royal Caribbean to Silversea, with which my first experience to small ship
Hmm.
cruising. And I realized how different actually it is to do marketing for mass market cruise brands
Yeah.
versus a small ship luxury product like Silverseas.
Yeah.
Then I was very lucky to become, through the years, the CMO at AmaWaterways River Cruising.
Amazing brand as well.
Amazing brand as well. I know
Yes.
I have some of my former colleagues here at Seatrade today, but
Yes.
really an amazing brand. And I realized again, I can bring some of the skills and what I've learned in the past, but you can never copy and paste
Hmm.
exactly the playbook from your past.
Right.
But you adapt and you learn because you continue to grow and learn as an individual. And even at this point in time, as the CCO at
Hmm.
Windstar, which is the perfect combination of actually a river and a small ship ocean cruise product, we actually
Wow.
have our ships are small enough to fit the rivers.
Yes.
It's truly a 180 degrees from
From
ordinary
ordinary.
product. And
Absolutely.
honestly, I feel
I
like,
concur.
yes, you concur.
Yes.
And I feel I'm 180 degrees from ordinary. I think
Yeah.
I'm everything but ordinary.
Yeah.
And it really aligns with me, who I am as an individual, and the culture that exists in that company and brand. It's my favorite place that I've worked at. From
Right.
all the people that I work with are incredible. And I think as beautiful as the ships are, as beautiful as the destinations are, it's the people
Hmm.
that inspire me to come in to work every day.
Yes.
So I have one tip for everyone. Really pay attention when you're interviewing for a role or job.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that culture. Ask the questions
Yes. It makes a
about how it
difference.
is to work at this particular place
Yes.
because it makes a difference. It makes a difference whether you want to wake up in the morning and go to work because it's
Absolutely.
not about the money. That's also
Yes.
what I've learned. If you're in it for the money,
Yeah.
you're not going
Yeah.
to feel as
Right.
fulfilled at the end of the day.
It's definitely about
As
the culture and the people.
yes,
Right.
yes, it's the people and the culture, and it took me many years. to figure that out. And I was
Yes.
lucky to work with really amazing companies that provided really great culture, by the way.
Right.
But I tell every single one of my team members that now report to me, or that when I'm interviewing, one of the biggest selling points for Windstar that I tell all future candidates is it's the culture. It's,
Yes.
I feel very lucky to work at Windstar, and I feel everyone else in the organization does as well. And it, as we're looking for, open positions at this time, I would recommend for everybody to check LinkedIn to see what those are. I guarantee you it's just an amazing place to work with an incredible
All right,
culture.
you guys heard that. Go to LinkedIn. She has some open positions.
Yes, I do. Recommend
All
to friends.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
So we're here at Seatrade, the biggest cruise event
I know.
of the year. I mean, I
incredible.
think someone said 12,000 people
It
a
gets
year.
bigger and bigger every year. Just when I
Wow.
thought, like, how much bigger can we get?
Right? It's insane, but it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I love
It's
Seatrade. I
amazing.
do.
And I love
So-
bumping into all of our friends as
Yes,
well. Like,
right?
that's one of my favorite parts.
So what are your key messages? What does Windstar
Mhm.
want to get across at Seatrade this year? Is it
Yes.
what's new? Like
Mhm.
what's going on? What's the message for this year? And what are you guys hoping to accomplish
Yeah.
from being here?
Absolutely. I just had an interview with a journalist who was on board the windsurf, and she said, I feel I've been cruising for over 40 years. Her first cruise was the Carnival Mardi Gras. And she
Wow.
said, I've seen Windstar through the years, and I feel you guys are like at this pivotal point where you guys have seen incredible growth, but you guys are really making an impact. As small as you are as a cruise line, you guys
Yes.
are really making an impact. And that just fills my heart with joy, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to make an impact to the lives of the people who sail with us, for the lives of the crew members who are on board servicing our guests,
Mhm.
for the travel advisors who sell us.
Right.
We're trying to make an impact, because there has to be purpose beyond just delivering a great cruise product and experience. We're all
Yes.
really good at that here.
So let's talk about your new ships. You got Star Seeker.
Yes.
Just came out. I had a chance to visit and be on board. Absolutely beautiful.
I know.
Absolutely amazing.
And we have
And
the
where is
Star-
she going to be sailing?
Okay, so Star Seeker's on her way to
Yeah.
she did a season in the Caribbean,
Yes.
and she's on her way to Alaska.
Okay.
She's going to do her inaugural season in Alaska through the glaciers, just really beautiful
Nice.
yacht-style cruising through Alaska that also provides an option for expedition cruising, because we have some kayaks, we have an enhanced
Yes.
expedition experience. And then she's going to be heading over to Japan,
It's going to be awesome. Awesome.
which
awesome.
is incredible. We have
All
some
right.
suites available if you're still interested in going, and Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, which is
that's
so hot right
amazing.
now. It's
Yes,
great. Not
it
only hot,
is.
like warm
Right.
temperature-wise, but it's
It's a
hot
hot
destination.
itinerary.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are loving Thailand. And then we're super excited because just in a few months, we'll have the Star
In December,
Explorer.
is it?
Yes. I
All
can't believe it.
right.
Yes.
All right. Star Explorer.
Yes.
Beautiful name. Beautiful name.
Yes. Yes.
And she's going to sail where?
So the Star Explorer will remain in Europe year-round.
Okay.
So as you recall, the Star
Yes.
Legend has been doing, and I know you've
Yes.
experienced that. You've
That
showed
Winter Med blew me
Ooh.
away. It would have never thought Winter Med ever in my life. Now it's the only way I want to do it.
Well, and let me tell you, it was one of my favorite episodes, if I may.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank you.
loved how you covered that, because I
Thank you.
think people don't have it in their list of
Yes.
to-dos of, I want to go to Mediterranean in the winter months, and then
Yes.
they experience on a cruise, right? I don't want to
Yes.
go on a cruise. I don't think, why would I
Right.
go on a cruise? And then they don't realize what an incredible experience it is.
Yes.
So because of the success of being year-round in Europe, we're putting our brand new ship, the Star Explorer, there. And her christening event will be in London.
Oh,
So we're
that's hot. Can I get an invitation?
absolutely, you always have an
Nice.
invitation. You always have an invitation. But what's beautiful is this is our ocean to river cruise ship.
Yeah.
She's only 224 guests. So while other small ship cruise brands are getting larger, they're getting too large that they don't fit
Yeah.
through the river.
Right.
So for many years, small ship cruise brands have been sailing through the Tower Bridge.
Right.
But now we're exploring even more rivers beyond the river chain. We're actually
Yes.
able to go through Bordeaux.
Oh,
We go through the
nice.
Corinth Canal. We sail through the Saigon River. So we have over 12 rivers that we sail across our fleet. But the Explorer specifically will stay in Europe, explore the Northern Europe, Baltic area, and also go south in the Mediterranean to the Adriatic, and also into cities and towns through the rivers.
Nice. And you said how many passengers for Star Explorer?
224 guests.
Okay.
Your
Yes.
own
Perfect.
yacht. I
Perfect.
mean, I know that we're coming up for summer in Europe right now, and I keep, hearing the news about summer being too crowded and too hot. And I'm like, we're doing summer wrong. The way that you do summer in Europe is on a yacht. And you see all the millionaires and
Absolutely.
billionaires in all the lifestyle
Absolutely.
publications in their private
Yes.
yachts. And it's like the fact that you can actually sail on your own yacht, Windstar,
Right.
with an incredible value, because I mean, our cruises are not expensive and they're very
Yes.
much very inclusive.
Yes.
So the fact that you can have that lifestyle of sailing the most beautiful waters of Europe, not being in a crowded,
It's
hot place
amazing.
inside Rome or Barcelona,
Mhm.
right? You want to use Rome and Barcelona as your embarkation
Yes.
port, but we're going to take you to beautiful places in your yacht with our marina, and you
Yes.
can jump off the ship and actually into the waters. You cannot jump off probably any other ship,
Yeah, it's
big,
an
large ship
amazing
that we're talking about
experience.
here. So it's a really
Absolutely.
unique experience to experience the summer on our yachts in Europe.
All right. And Tahiti. I mean, you guys, you think Windstar, you think Tahiti.
So, Tahiti is one of our favorite destinations. Windstar has been sailing there for over 40 years.
Wow.
And we're so excited because we've been sailing with a wind class ship, which is a sailboat.
Mm-hmm.
And when we pulled the sailboat 2 years ago, because we were remodeling her and we wanted to bring an all suite ship, which is 300 guests, we didn't realize the impact it was going to have and how many upset guests that they no longer had the option to go on a sailing ship. So we're very excited that the Windstar has completed her renovation and she's going to be heading to Tahiti. So now guests will have an option of both ships. They can either go on an all-suite Starbreeze motor yacht or on a sail ship like the Windstar, which is beautiful, iconic, and now newly revamped.
All right. So now we're going to get down to the hot seat question.
Oh.
All right. So you have a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
In this envelope, you
Okay.
will get to choose which Windstar yacht you want to go on.
Okay.
Now, are you going with one of the new ones?
Uh-huh.
Are you going with one of the classic? And why?
Okay. So I will tell you that I've been so lucky that in my 3 years at Windstar, I have been on every single one of our ships except the Explorer because she's not ours yet, and she's not ready for us to sail on. So I'm very lucky that I've sailed on all of them except one, and that's the Windsurf.
Yes.
And so the Windsurf this year is actually doing an itinerary that's near and dear to my heart.
And this is the one with the sails?
This is the sails, 5-masted
So
sail.
beautiful.
And she's going to a beautiful region of the world, Italy.
Really?
The south of Italy, which I'm sure many of the viewers right now, if you have sailed there, please tell us in the comments because I am sure that you have not experienced Calabria in the summer months. And that's exactly what it's going to be doing. The Windsurf is going to be doing the south of Italy.
Yes.
So from Rome through the Amalfi coast, it's going to go into Calabria, to Reggio Calabria, which is the most renowned beaches in the Mediterranean waters.
Oh, wow.
And then up to Puglia, docking in Taranto, and up to Croatia. So it's a very unique itinerary that you cannot find these days in any of the cruise lines. I urge you to please go and search.
Summer?
So it is Southern Italy romance, and it's on Windsurf. And there's about 4 sailings this year and another 4 sailings next year. But it's the way that you want to do summer in Europe. I've just described that we're doing summer wrong. We're going to these, destinations that are hot and crowded. You don't want to do that in the summer months. You want to be in the water.
Yes.
Experiencing, where Europeans go on vacation. Yes. And these are the destinations where Europeans themselves, they know where to vacation in Europe. And so you'll be in a private, beautiful sailing ship. And I say private because it's only 350 guests. And you do feel like if you're the only one, on board, because our crew does a phenomenal job.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to see your photos from it that you post.
I can't wait.
I know that's going to be amazing.
It is. Yes. I can't wait. I really can't wait to introduce that itinerary to our guests who love the Windsurf. They love Windstar, and they haven't visited this destination.
Yes.
These destinations, plural.
Wow. Well, Janet, as always, congratulations. Congratulations on your rise. Congratulations on all the amazing things that Windstar is doing. Congratulations on the Star Explorer coming soon. So much to be celebrated.
Exciting things happening at Windstar. Yes. So I think the hardest thing for everyone is just to make that decision and figure out a date and an itinerary for them to explore Windstar for their very first time. Once they realize how easy it is and how spectacular of an experience it is, I think that's what we get clients for life.
All right, you guys. So Book Windstar if you're a travel advisor. Recommend it to your clients.
Yes.
You can also always visit. You have the travel advisor portal, right?
Absolutely.
And then you can always watch an episode of Traveling with Denella as well, so that you can see the full experience that we had in the Winter Med and also Tahiti. Janet, you're amazing. Thank you always.
You're even more amazing. And I'm so proud of you too. You're pretty incredible.
Thank you. Janet Bava, Chief Commercial Officer of Windstar Cruises. If small ship cruising has been on your radar, or if it just got added after today, Windstar is where the conversation starts. Everything you need is in the description. Janet, the way you talk about this brand makes it impossible not to feel what you do. That conviction came through in every single answer. Thank you. If this conversation added value to your day, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with someone in your world who loves to travel. It's the best way to help this show grow. Until we travel again, keep exploring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the journey.